What happened is the criminals actually overpowered them. They took the gun, and one of them, they took the two guns, and one of the person who overpowered them actually started shooting at the crowd. So in the process, I would assume, of an investigation, it is possible that perhaps these officers, as they tried to contain this situation, could have shot somebody. That is one hypothesis. But the other hypothesis is that the criminal who overpowered these officers actually and removed their uniform and started shooting at the crowd could have used a police gun, but is a criminal to kill someone. And of course, these are things that require scientific proof. So the presumption could be it is the police officer, but it could be rebuttable by evidence. And that's why we need to be careful and not condemn law enforcement officers wholesale, but we must condemn individual law enforcement officers who use weapons outside the law. And the only sure way of ascertaining that is through the processes of justice, which are slow and painful, but eventually they lead to the truth.
You're done, Waziri?
Yes, Chair, I submit.
Yeah.
And in some of the riots, there were private people with firearms. In some cases where we had huge crowds, there were people with firearms inside crowds. So I'm not just defending my officers. I'm also saying they need to be given the benefit of doubt, and otherwise we will lose the morale of our security agencies. And next time there's an attack, they'll say, okay, there's an attack, Parliament, sort out yourselves. God forbid. I submit.
Members were aware that, of course, we have got quite a number of the rest of the 6 of the question. I think we can leave at that, and I think the minister has taken undertaking to furnish this committee with the total number of Kenyans who are added to the list of 30. So you had asked for 24 hours?
Right, by tomorrow such a time, by tomorrow noon.
Thank you so much. Of course, the document will also be the document of the House, and it will be tabled in Parliament. Thank you so much, our brother Window, and a lot of regards from the member who did ask the question, actually, Ocheng. He said he was your student at some time, confided to me.
I hope I did a good job.
Yeah, seemingly yes. Yeah, actually dropped a lot of accolade. Now, kindly go to the second question. We have got hardly 1 hour to tackle the rest of the 6.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, thank you. The second matter, as guided by the Chair, is the question on insecurity in Fafi constituency. And here I've been asked by the member for Fafi, the Honorable Yakub, to explain reasons why the government is downgrading security levels by discharging 16 National Police Reservists in Fafi, in Bura East sub-county, who are discharged on 6th August 2024. The second issue is that why 17 NPRs who are volunteered to support our security agencies who are dealing with counter-terrorism there have not been armed, yet they are ready to support the security formations there. Then what actions we are taking to enhance security in the constituency, and then also, finally, whether we have a record of abductions by Al-Shabaab or even by security agencies. I would like to respond as follows, that the issue of National Police Reservists is guided by the National Police Service Act. And it provides that the role of NPRs is to support the National Police Service as a reserve, and they can be assigned to support Kenya Police or Administration Police in all the areas that the police have mandate on. And this is preservation of peace, protection of life and property, prevention and detection of crime, apprehension of offenders, and enforcement of laws and regulations of our land. Now, the functions of the work of the National Police Reserve is to support the police, the full-time police deployment. But the Act also provides that NPRs must remain under the command and control of the police formation commanders. And this command has been delegated by the Inspector General of Police to the Sub-County Police Commander, formerly known as OCPDs. They are the commanders of all the police in that sub-county, including NPRs. The Act also subjects NPRs to discipline, just like other police officers. And therefore, issues of command and control and discipline are of the NPRs is still with the Inspector General of Police, delegated to the sub-county police commanders. So the particular number of officers, NPR officers who were discharged, as the member correctly has pointed out, were discharged in exercise of the command, control, and discipline procedures of the National Police Service vested on the Inspector General. And they were replaced. In that sense, it takes me to the second part of the question. The second part of the question is saying there is already another 17 who wants to be NPRs. And why have they not been armed? And I want to respond as follows. It is not enough to volunteer that you want to be an NPR. That's not the end, it's the starting point, because the NPRs actually are voluntary support formation for the police. We just once in a while give them a small stipend, and we are trying to see how we make that a bit more determinate. But once there is need for NPRs, as is the case here in Fafi, there is a process of vetting. After vetting, training. After training, the arming, that is equipment, and then now they are deployed. So that process is ongoing. We have not refused to deploy, but we will need first to complete the vetting, do the training, which takes sometimes 4 or 5 weeks, and then after that they are armed, and then deployed. So we will be doing that shortly. And then thirdly, the member wanted to find out what we are doing in Fafi to strengthen the security there. And I want to accept that Ijara Fafi has really given us a lot of challenges in the last almost 1 year, maybe more. The last 3 years. We've had challenges, security challenges there, and our formations in the northeastern region are adjusting to make sure that we detect where the leakages are and where the gaps are. You know, we have a porous border. Up Mandera, we are trying our best to minimize incursions and cross-border threats. But down on the Garissa side, we have a challenge there. And right now, those two areas, Ijara, Fafi area, is problematic. So what we are doing, Chair, is we are increasing the presence of special forces, what we call formed up units, mainly the RDU, the Rapid Response Deployment Unit, the SOG, the Special Operations Group, and other elite special forces that help us to keep the country free from the threat of terror. We have challenges, and that's why as Security Committee we continually request you to support us with a security budget, because unlike normal or ordinary policing, the fight against terrorism and other organized crime like banditry requires very highly trained and highly equipped intelligence-based security deployments, quite expensive. And to train these special forces requires a lot of resources. And I'm glad we are making good progress. And I think even today we'll be receiving a little more from in the SOG, which is the most sophisticated and the most effective fighting force this country has, of very patriotic and sacrificial police officers who have given their all to protect us. So we intend, we have a small graduation, and members may want to know that we recruit about 2,000, but those who finish are 100. From 2,000, those who will finish the 6 months specialized training are 100 or thereabout. It's very rigorous. But then what that 100 does is equal to 1,000 would do in ordinary circumstances. So, Fafi Ijara, I admit, we need to add a few more elite intelligence-led units which can help us address the current situation there. We have registered a lot of progress in Boni Enclave for the last 18 months. And we hope eventually, even against the fight against banditry, where we are 75, 80% done, we are left with 20%. The solution will be in the special forces that will help us get these criminals who have hurt the people of Kenya for a long time. So we are working on that. And of course, we want to involve the communities. That is the last part of the answer. We want to work now with communities to build support for the fight against terror, so that it's not just security-led, government-led. We want to involve communities. NPRs is one entry point, but we want also broader support from elders, and I think we are working on a program between the relevant agencies, National Police Service, National Intelligence Service, and the rest of us. We are trying to work on a program for a more community participatory counter-terrorism. And we should be, this problem, we should get rid of it in a permanent manner if we continue with the current measures we are taking, I submit. We do not have, of course, every missing person, we have a record. And again, if we are asked to supply information, which we want us this time, we can supply the people who's have been reported missing. But our forces do not abduct people, they should not abduct people, but they are highly trained on how to handle counter-terrorism. Very sophisticated, very delicate, without harming innocent members of society, I submit.
Aidan Waziri? Okay, the member for Fafi is here. He can go on record and maybe say clarification from the minister before we open for the rest of members.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Salah Yakub Farah, Member of Parliament of Fafi constituency, Garissa County. Chair, with your indulgence, I really want my queries to be sort of interrogative, not one-off questions. And I want to congratulate first on first hand the CS for being appointed. I'm happy that he's back to the docket for continuity purpose. I'm not satisfied in the sense that the answers given by the CS were not to my expectations. I wanted numbers, I wanted figures, I needed some more clarifications. To start with, the CS said the 16 members were replaced. The CS said 16 members were discharged as a result of disciplining and the acts. I want to start by asking the CS, does the CS know where these 16 NPRs were located exactly or placed exactly in Bura East? Bura East has 2 divisions, Bura East Division and Galmagala Division. Can the CS tell me where exactly were they working? That's my first question, as interrogative sort of.
Honorable Chair, that was not part of the request. Deployment of NPRs is the work of the Inspector General. It's not the work of the Minister. The Minister directs the Inspector General on general policy issues, like some of which are being raised here. For example, an area requires NPR. You know, I could tell the IG, please, we need, this is the request, this is, can you now deploy? He deploys.
Thank you, CS. Thank you, CS.
Let me explain myself, because we are on record, because it's not a courtroom, so that we get this right. The issue of, for example, which NPR is posted where, that is the work of the IG, and it normally delegates that to the sub-county commander.
Thank you, CS. If I may help you, the 16 were working at the Galmagala Division. And that's why I told you I don't see the facts down there. And I asked a question of down scaling. I wanted the CS to give me more facts. I know it's a policy, but I wanted him to get facts from the IG. If I may help you, Bwana CS, the 16 were in Galmagala Division. The total number of NPRs in Galmagala were 21. 21 in number. Recruited 2013. On August 6th, 16 of them were let off. You said disciplinary. The letter of discharge doesn't say anything about that. It just said, we, referring to the letter of appointment, we have now discharged you. So I want an explicit answer telling me they were discharged on that. So do you have an explicit answer as to why they have been discharged? Was it discipline? Because that's a downscaling.
No, I don't have the answer. Maybe you can call the IG.
Bwana Waziri, as much as, of course, as clearly put, the CS not only advises or supervises the IG on matters policy, but considering that this is a question that was asked by the member in Parliament, I can understand he's trying to say that the IG is supposed to have furnished the CS with the answer. And when Waziri, knowing that, of course, Fafi is one of the most troubled constituencies areas in this country, I think it will have been just fair enough to really go down